All right. Hey, everybody. We are in lesson 5-6 of the Tennessee Revealed Geometry on isosceles and equilateral triangles. All right. Yeah, isosceles triangles are, it's a triangle when you have two sides that are equal to each other. Those are called your legs. And you have two angles that are equal to each other, and those are called your base angles. Equilateral triangle is when you have a triangle where all three sides are the exact same length, and it's going to be equiangular as well because all of your angles are the exact same. All right, so you need to know that three angles of a triangle add up to be 180 for the isosceles. Two of them are going to be the same, and three of the angles of the equilateral add up to be 180. Well, they're all going to be 60 degrees because 60 plus 60 plus 60, meaning they're all equal, add up to be 180. So there you go. All right, so let's mosey on. All right, so I got some terms here. So this is an isosceles triangle where two sides are marked equal to each other. These are called your legs. The other side, the third side, is called your base. These two angles are the base angles. They're equal to each other. This one up here that's not equal to the other two, this is called your vertex angle. This is all written over here if you want to kind of highlight that in your book so you can remember it all. But the two sides that are equal called your legs. The third one is called your base. The two angles that are equal called your base angles. The third angle is called your vertex angle. All right. See, we got a rule here. This says that if your two sides are equal, then your two base angles are equal, and probably vice versa. The converse, if your two base angles are equal, then your two legs are equal. The DE side and the FE side will be equal to each other. All right, so let's get down into an example. I'm going to turn to page 326 in the book. All right, so it's a proof. Okay, well, I'm going to skip that. The lovely thing about Tennessee is the curriculum changed, and there are no more proofs in Tennessee geometry. So I'm just going to bypass this, get down to what I need to know. All right, example number 2. So I'm on top of page 327. All right, first off, we need to find the measure of angle B and C of this isosceles triangle. And it looks like they go through to prove that it's isosceles by looking at the distances. So they find that AB and AC are equal to each other, so that makes it isosceles. So to me, it looks just like a proof. All right, so listen, I got to find these two base angles, and we know that these two base angles are equal to each other. They must be the exact same. And three angles of a triangle add up to be 180. We've learned that before in the other lesson, 5-1. All right, so what we got here? So because it's an isosceles triangle, we know that angle C is congruent to angle B. That's what goes there. We know that three angles of a triangle add up to be 180. So I'm going to add 70 plus the unknown plus the other unknown. That's where they get two unknowns, if you're wondering, right there, because they are the same. So they replaced angle A, which is the vertex angle, with 70. They're going to subtract 70 to the other side, and 180 minus 70 is 110. Then they're going to divide that by 2 because they are equal to each other. So 110 divided by 2 is 55 degrees. So this angle is 55 and angle B is 55. And listen, if you want to check your answer, just add up 70 plus 55 plus 55. Make sure it equals 180 and you're in business. All right. Moving on to the check. Hang on a second. All right, sorry about that. We had an announcement for a field trip. All right, I am on the check on page 327. All right, so I'm looking at a right triangle, and they're asking me to find angle XYZ. Remember, it's really Y because that's the vertex, the letter in the middle, and YZX, YZX. Again, Z is the letter in the middle, so that's your vertex. Okay, well, first off, I don't have really any math to do. It's a right triangle. This is a 90-degree box, which means these two angles are also going to be 90 degrees when you put them together. So these are 90 when you add them together, because 90 plus the 90 is 180, right? Well, if this is an isosceles triangle, which it is, because these two legs, x, y, and x, z, are equal to each other, then these are both 45 degrees, because 90 divided by 2 is 45. No math involved. Boom, 45. You just got to know the rules. Okay, let's move on to the next page. All right. Oh, no, next page here, same page on you. Equilateral triangles. That's when you have a triangle where all three sides are the same and all three angles are going to be 60 degrees. There's your rules right there, the corollaries. All right, so let's get into it. Example number 3. Got to find the measure of angle J, which is your top angle, your vertex angle, if this were isosceles. But this says it's equilateral, which means this is an angle that's 60 degrees for L, K is 60, and that means J is going to be 60 degrees. All right, so that was an easy one, but let me see what they want here. All right, because JL is equal to JK, by the isosceles triangle theorem, base angles in L and K are congruent. So angle L is congruent to angle K. What do they want here? Oh, okay, it's making me put in something. I'm not sure what it wants. JL is equal to JK. They're both 12s. So, by isosceles triangle theorem. Well, it just means that L and K, but then they put it right there. So I'm not sure really what the book is wanting here. I'm a wee bit confused. I don't know what it's asking, because why would I put something here when I've got the angles L and K being the same? So I'm not really sure what they're wanting, but I do know that it's going to be 60 degrees, because 60, 60, and 60 makes 180 for an equilateral triangle. Weird. I might have to go back and check what the book is actually saying on this one in the teacher's edition, which I don't have in front of me. I just have the student edition in front. All right, let's look at the check. Page 328. It says to find the measure of angle R, which is this angle right here, and PR, which is the side running from P to R. Okay, so it says it's an isosceles triangle, which means my leg PQ being 5 and my leg RQ being 5 are equal to each other. That means Q is my vertex angle. So I'm going to take 180, I'm going to subtract 60, then I'm going to divide by 2, because if it's an isosceles triangle, these two angles P and R are equal to each other. Well, 180 minus 60 is 120. 120 divided by 2 is 60 degrees. So it's actually an equilateral triangle, since all three angles are 60 degrees. And since it's equilateral, that means all three sides are the same. This is automatically 5. Again, nothing really to solve here. You just got to know what the rules are. So, okay, great. That makes life easy. Example number 4. I'm on the page 328 at the bottom. All right, let's see what we got here. It says find the value of each variable. All right, it says AB, which is this left side, is congruent to BC, which is, looks like the bottom side. And they're marked equal. It's kind of hard to tell, but there's a little slash and there's a little slash to say they're equal to each other. Okay, that means that it looks like it's isosceles. This side is not marked with a slash. All right, so angle ACB, which is this angle, the vertex, will be congruent to CAB. All right, CAB. Remember, the A has to be the letter in the middle because it's your vertex. It'll be your base angles. So these two angles are equal to each other, which means I'm going to set 6x plus 6 equal to 60 and solve this equation. Okay. Well, for my visual people, I'm just checking to see if my teacher notes are on. And I'll put in a note. So I'm looking at 6x plus 6 equals 60. Okay, I'm going to subtract 6 to the other side of the equal sign. So 60 minus 6 is going to be 54. And the opposite of multiplying by 6 is to divide by 6. All right, so 54 divided by 6 is going to be 9. So it looks like my x is going to be 9, everybody. All right, so x is 9. Here we go. All right, because each angle of a triangle measures 60 by the triangle angle sum theorem, the triangle is an equilateral triangle by corollary 5-3. So they could have also put equiangular, by the way, because they are the same. All right. All right, so it looks like they solved y for us, which is nice. Okay, I didn't have to solve it. Very good. So being that it's equilateral, these three sides are the same. You're going to set 4y minus 2. Oh, hey, sorry about that. Equals 2y plus 2. Solve it for y. Since it's equilateral, you just set them equal to each other, and you're going to get y is 2. All right, looks like we've got another problem online if you want to check that out. And I'm going to move on to the check at the bottom of the page. All right, we've got an architecture problem. It says you may want to complete the construction activities for this lesson online. I'm sorry, I read the wrong thing. The main entrance to the Louvre Museum is a unique metal and glass pyramid. Find the value of each variable. Okay, so let's see. I've got 2 that are marked equal here. This 115 side and this 115 side will be equal to each other. Which means these 2 angles right here are equal to each other. So if this is a 2x, this base angle will also be a 2x. And since 3 angles of a triangle add up to be 180 degrees, I'm going to do 2x plus 2x plus 2x equals 180. Like terms, 2x plus 2x plus 2x is 6x equals 180. 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6. The opposite of multiplying by 6 is divide by 6. And that's going to give me 30. X is 30. All right. X is 30. Boom. There we go. Now listen, if you substitute that in, 2 times 30 is 60 degrees. So I got a 60-degree angle, a 60-degree angle, a 60-degree angle. So this is actually an equilateral triangle. And how that's going to help me is I now know what to set for y minus 5 equal to. I'm going to set equal to the 115. All right. So it's going to solve for y. For y minus 5 equals 115 because it's equilateral triangle. All right. The opposite of subtracting 5, add 5. So 115 plus 5 is 120. The opposite of multiplying by 4 is to divide by 4. So you're going to take 120 and you're going to divide by 4, and that gives you 30. So y is 30, everybody. Y is 30. Now, if you're someone who wants to check your answer, take that 30 and plug it in. See if you get 115. If you do, you did it right. 4 times 30 is 120. Minus 5 is 115. And since you get 115, you've got the correct answer. All right, got another problem online if you want to try that out. And it looks like I am done because the next page is the practice. All right, good luck, you guys. If you've got any questions, ask your teacher. Ask me. Be happy to help.